So this is the neighborhood that's called Old Louisville. It's a historic area where all the houses are like these amazing Victorians. And that's where our friend Carrie lives. This is where she bought a place. It's also where there are a lot of these old trees that I don't know if they're just kind of living out their lifespan or what, but apparently like hundreds of them have toppled in the recent years. Kind of been cooped up inside the house for the last couple days, so we're gonna go try to find a place for the kids to run around a little bit instead of just being locked up inside.
Daddy, look at the cat.
Oh yeah, it's a big leaf.
It's a
Cat?
cat. A cat. It's a cat.
With the ears?
Yeah. Look at, I'm a cat now, Daddy. You're a cat now.
Hi, cat. You can't see. Don't crash. The Sony A7 III. That's what this camera is. I'm upgrading from a Canon 70D, which I had for probably about 2, maybe 3 years. It's a pretty big jump. I've never owned a full frame sensor camera before, which this one is. I don't have any lenses for it, so I ended up buying a kit lens, or buying the body with the kit lens, because I don't have any lenses and I had to at least start with something. But I actually also purchased a 10 to 18 f4 Sony E-mount lens, which is actually designed for a crop sensor camera, but it's small and compact. It actually works with this camera either zoomed in at like 16mm, or it works with the full range using the APS-C mode of the camera, which is a feature this camera has. The 10-18 range on an APS-C sensor, it's exactly what I was using on my Canon 70D before. So I know that's the range I like, that's the range I'll use. I could have gone with my 70D for maybe another year or so happily. There's some limitations about it that I don't like. Since we're going to Europe, buying one of these in Europe is going to be really expensive, so we decided to pull the trigger and do it now. So far I'm really happy. Wow, what? Oh, it's a doggy. You like corgis?
Yeah. The next block is where we went trick-or-treating when you were cute Bumblebee.
What was Luca?
A dragon.
A dragon?
Dragon. With
Ava was Sally the ragdoll. We're really close, I guess relatively close, to the airport. In Louisville, it's not actually a big hub for passenger flights, but it's a really popular hub for packages like UPS, I think, and FedEx. So we see UPS and FedEx planes flying over all day long, and they're flying really low, really loud. And that was like a military plane. So we found the park.
Oh.
What are we looking for now? Water fountain? Playground, okay. I'm actually using the kit lens to shoot this right now. And the kit lens is a full frame lens that's pretty compact, which is cool. It's a 3.5 to I think 5.5 aperture, 28mm to 70mm. It's actually a really good lens for this full frame camera, because even though 28 wouldn't have been wide enough on my APS-C camera, it's actually decently wide on this full frame. And what I like about it too is that it's lightweight, it's relatively sharp, definitely sharp enough for vlogs. It's also image stabilized, really nice. And the fact that the lens is image stabilized, which works in conjunction with the image stabilization of the body, which means even if I put a lens on here that's not image stabilized, it'll still stabilize a little bit by that full frame sensor in there moving around. It's pretty amazing how they're able to put IBIS in the camera body this small. That's a full frame. And I hope you guys can tell the improved quality of this camera. I feel like there's a huge difference. And what I really like too is that it now gives me the ability of doing 120 frames per second HD, so I can do a slow motion shot. I can also do in-camera time lapses now. I've got variable ND filters on all these lenses too, so I can really fine-tune that exposure and get some nice motion blurs on my time lapses. Now we're at the playground, the kids are gonna play. I'll shoot some slow motion and time lapses for you guys. So this right here is St. James Court. As you can see, these are some of the most beautiful houses in Old Louisville. Look at this thing right here. This is actually a house. 4 years ago, when Luca was one?
No, not even 1, 6 months.
Yeah, not quite one, so it was more than 4 years ago. It was 4.5 years ago, probably. We were here for Halloween, and our friend Carrie's friend lived one of the, not in the houses out in the main courtyard area, but like on one of the side roads. We trick-or-treated right here. Well, there you go. So that's my new camera. That's Central Park in Old Louisville. This is the neighborhood that we're currently staying in for the next few days. And those are some of the features of this new Sony A7 III camera that I'm vlogging with. If you have any questions about my setup, go ahead and ask me a question below. I want to thank you guys for watching as always. Once I get more familiar with the file formats and the settings and all that, I'm going to try and get more and more into, if not daily, definitely weekly vlogging. We're on our way to Baltimore, where we're going to put our car on the boat and have the boat to be shipped to Europe. And we'll continue our traveling in Europe for the next year or two. Well, thanks again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.